Five, four, three, two, one.
Hey guys, what's up? I'm so glad you're back. So glad we're back.
Thank you for tuning in to the Ride of Our Lives radio.
Yes, today we will be talking about fashion, which
And
I'm very excited about.
basically, I'm going to be asking you a lot of questions about fashion, and since you have a lot more information than I do, I just am very curious about a little bit your opinions on certain topics, certain industries.
Opinions. I can give that.
Yes.
Because I don't know everything. I don't know everything. But I
Yes.
can give my opinions.
Yeah, and that's the whole point. Like, you're not supposed to know everything, but you have a lot
Right.
more knowledge of this than I do, which I am just curious on, like, how your eye works, how your brain works when you think about fashion, or when you see like other fashion, either on an everyday basis, or how you consume fashion as far as visually, media, or many different aspects. So I think this is a really good way to basically see how, like, someone who is very passionate about what they learn on a day-to-day basis or going through as a career, that, like, oh, okay, how do they process information, how they see the world, or how they take inspiration. So I'm actually very excited about this because I feel like you have seen me in my element, as
Right,
far as
definitely.
just like how I see photography, which we will have an episode about
Yes.
how she will ask me questions
On his opinions of photography.
on photography, and I think it's going to be uh, really relieving because I don't think I have enough opportunities to basically ask you this question, or ask a lot of like models or designers about this. So
This will be fun then.
I'm very excited because
Yeah.
it's almost just like I have a lot of models and I have a lot of like designers that tell me like, hey, how did you start off this? And I try to reverse that question, or but either we get cut off, or we need to get back to work, or there's not enough time for me to ask this question.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to actually tell you this question because it's more of just like reverse the roles.
I'm excited. Okay.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like, you already know, like I already had a couple questions lined up, but even then, those are like kind of like my general questions that I feel like, because I don't know anything about this. I don't know nothing about like what you know or anything about
Well, that's not true. You also have your own insight. You are a photographer in fashion as well. So you also, I'm sure, compared to some other photographers, definitely have an insight into what the fashion world is like, even if it's not to the same degree as I do.
I completely agree with you, but I feel like for me it's a little bit different because either I learned from like the models, or I learned from the designers, or most of the time I learned from my sister, and she grew up watching like American Next Top Model. She grew up like watching a lot of YouTube videos.
So I have to meet your sister.
You will. But I think with that, it's just like everybody can relate to like how she learned, or how she got into fashion, or how she discovered her own fashion within everything.
And your process of learning it is different and later.
But yes, and also like for me, I learned like how I take a lot of different aspects of my life. I learned from a lot of people. Like whatever passion they learn from, or whatever hobbies they are interested in, I learn from them and just remember it for like either the next conversation, or follow-up questions, or anything like that. The next time we see each other, or next time this topic comes up, I try to just make sure I'm paying attention. You know?
Right.
You know,
it's good
so
skill. Translates a lot.
Yeah, so I think this is a very exciting topic that I'm willing to just explore with you, because I feel like, again, I never get to ask this that much to a lot of people, and even then, like when I'm trying to discover, like how you said, fashion in my own perspective, it's still different from like how you would learn, or like how somebody else would learn. Like for me, like I feel like a lot of women already understand so much information about fashion at a young age.
That's true. We're honestly, I think for, I mean, as a as a gender, we are groomed, I guess, more towards like feminine things, and fashion is considered, for a long time, the thought of, caring about fashion for some reason has been geared as like, oh, that's a feminine thing. Yeah. It's all about shopping. It's all about frivolous. It's all about looking good. It's all about caring about your look. Well, guess what? We all care about what we look like, even if it's only to a little bit. Like everything we make decisions with, the t-shirt that you buy, the shoes that you buy, even if you wear jewelry, if you don't wear jewelry. That's going into another tangent, but yes, girls, I feel like
Go on tangent. Like
fashion is not frivolous. Oh my gosh, I cannot say this enough. The idea that some people think that caring about fashion or I actually used to get like, not like outward comments about this when I was going into an art school art program,
right.
But I would get some comments about it being like, oh, fashion, that's like shopping, right? Because you like to shop. And I was like, it's actually
honestly,
it's actually much more than that.
I would make that comment.
and I know that does come from the idea that you don't know necessarily what is it. Like fashion stems from not just personal taste, but also, well, I mean, it does, but like personal tastes are affected by like the economy. They're affected by politics. They're affected by like who we socially group with. Like it's affected by so many things. It's not just about the fact that that I care so much about what I look and other people don't. Like, no, we all care about how we dress and how we look, if it's just to different degrees. I mean, how we dress is how we, represent ourselves to the whole world. It's part of our identity.
Right.
And oh my God, I could go on this for so long, but fashion is not frivolous, and I will fight anybody who tries to make fun of it and tries to belittle it as a sort of topic. But in general, yes, a lot of people raised as girls were kind of groomed in that aspect of like caring about fashion and caring about clothes and then I don't know why don't I hate to I think it has to come from the sort of misogyny thing of like making it seem like that's a frivolous thing when we all care about what we wear.
And now more than ever, like me bringing more intention on how I dress or how I like, because for me, I have a very weird relationship with clothing and how I dress, because I grew up with like, hand-me-downs for a lot of years.
Yeah,
but
same.
now I try, now I'm buying new clothes that fit my style or a style that I want to explore. And one thing I've noticed is that there's not many options for guys for me, and I'm just like, why is that? Why can't I like I go walk into these stores and like you for women there's a whole collection like with like more than half of the store, and like for guys it's just like a corner of the store like H&M or something like that.
I know. And that's frustrating, I imagine.
And I have to go through now, like whenever I go shopping, like 4 or 5 different stores to find like at least one thing that I like.
Right.
Because one thing I've noticed is like nowadays, it's like for guys, you can't buy a shirt without like the name of the brand on it or something like that.
Yeah, I hate that. I hate that because I will often want to look for like really cool menswear pieces, but it's like you can't find a menswear piece without the brand on it, or like on the front and on the back. And it's like you just want to find a cool t-shirt with a cool design without necessarily it being a big thing. And just going back to your point of with like in stores, they do cater so much more to women's wear. And I know there are probably multiple reasons, like historically, is this affecting my mic?
Yeah, I was about to say.
I have my coat on my lap because I like to hold something. It's not affecting, is it?
No, you're good.
But like when you do walk into a store, there is so much more women's wear than there is men's wear. And I know there has to be so many more historical reasons that I cannot think of on the top of my head, but they really just do in general cater more towards that idea that like, oh, well, women care more about fashion than men, but it's like you raised
But
us
like,
to care more about fashion than men, but it's like, but the thing is like we all care about what we wear, but we're not always given the opportunity to explore it. Like when I was a kid, I got more opportunities than I imagine like boys in my class got to, with exploring, like getting to try things different and going to different stores and seeing all the different clothes. Like guys don't have that as much.
and you know, for me, I've always wanted to work at a office or a very like business.
Me too.
So that
Office siren.
I can wear like suits almost every day, because for me, I love wearing suits.
I do too.
And the reason why
too.
is just like, I just want to look nice in a suit. I feel like any guy just that wears a suit, you just immediately look.
That's why you love the show
times.
Suits, huh? He loves the show Suits.
I love Suits. I love it. I'm gonna die on that hill.
That is a good show.
But even then, I'm just like, I grew up like being inspired to wear that almost every single day. You know, like those people that just wear suits every day, that just look great all the time,
very
and just
polished, very put together, intention put into what they are wearing.
And even then, like you just said, it is like they look presentable, polished, and all that. I'm like, when you see a guy like that, you think of them like, oh, they feel like, oh, they have their life together. And that's how I want to like feel almost every day.
Oh, interesting.
And I don't have that many opportunities to do that, so that's why I'm just like, whenever I have a chance to do it, I try to like present myself like that.
Yeah, no, I understand. We should save up and buy both really good, nice looking suits and then go out on the town.
Let's do it.
I would love that.
I would love that too.
I love a good suit moment.
I want to spend like at least like maybe $700 or $800 on a suit. Not you.
I eventually will be able to save up for that kind of nice suit. But no, I do like that look of, I guess not necessarily just under the category of like office wear, but that is just where you wear it. Just like nice, tailored clothing that like fits you so well. It makes you feel empowered. I mean, not everybody feels that way in that type of clothing, but I definitely do. And you're saying that you do, and it's that's what I love about fashion, is the fact that some people don't even realize that you can just feel like a totally different person with what you wear on your body.
And just going outside of like just business wear, like for me as a guy, it's very interesting trying to explore men's fashion that is like almost like an everyday streetwear, you know? Yeah. And for me, I really like the clean look. Like the clean, like just plain, like it's like simple, an overshirt, simple but elevated.
Right, for sure.
Something that's timeless. You know, you can wear it like, however old you are. But I think those simple, timeless pieces are going to be essential, not only for like for me, but I feel like for a lot of men. And I think I just have to get out of my head to be like, hey, look, you can still look very nice, put together, and not make it feel feminine. Like, I think it's just like, I grew up with like, oh, fashion is meant for women. Like, why do I need to invest in this? Yeah. So it's just like, for me, I have to just get it outside of my head and just be like, no, you can still look great and spend a lot of time on it. Yeah. And not think of it as so gender geared, but as like a neutral thing that we're all a part of. Yeah, and I do see the evolution of that happening right now in like social media for sure, but yeah, it's getting there. It's definitely getting there. I think for many years I didn't know that was an option for me, and I think a good turning point for that was like after COVID. Like after COVID, I saw a lot of like men's people posting like on TikTok, Instagram, just posting like, oh, hey, you can actually like dress nice. You can try things different. Yeah. Like that is really cool. A lot of people did take that time to just completely experiment with things that they normally didn't do. Yeah. I mean, that was kind of like for me, I didn't know I could wear earth colors and they were actually good. They look good on me. So like I never experimented with that. I
Really?
never experimented with like earth colors or anything like
Oh
that.
yeah. No, yeah. I love that opportunity. That did you have kind of like a and like oh shit kind of moment like oh
Yeah.
wait is it been 10 minutes?
Uh,
Am I allowed to swear?
yes.
Sorry
More,
guys.
more than 10
Oh
minutes.
shit! Like I can wear earth tones. Fuck it up. I won't say that too many times, but no, that is really cool. And honestly, that for me, in terms of my relationship to fashion, which I was telling you a little bit off camera, is like me getting to have that moment of exploring my own identity through clothes did come mostly with college. When I went off to college and I got to finally separate myself from high school and kind of the persona that I had, that everybody knew, I could finally try different things without being labeled like the weird girl. And it's interesting because high school is so like I went to a decently big high school, I would say. Like I went to a decently big high school, but at the same time it's like you are constantly with these people. So there is this sort of pressure to not try new things because anything new that you try in high school is considered weird or it's considered like I don't know. I don't know if you felt this, but I definitely felt closed in a box for so much of my life because I needed to appear feminine. I needed to be ladylike. Or if I was going to be sporty, I had to be like really good at sports. Otherwise, it's like, oh, I'm just kind of mid at sports. Or I have to be super feminine and always appear to the male gaze. And I'm sure, many boys felt a similar kind of upbringing pressure from society, or maybe different. But I just know that a societal pressure that I felt was like constantly being put into a box from a very young age, and I didn't even feel like I could actually explore anything outside of that box until I left all those people behind in high school, and I went to college, and I was like, oh my god, I can start brand new. I can start brand new. I bleached all of my hair. I bleached my eyebrows. I started going into modeling. I started getting to wear things that I saw in my fashion books and trying different things instead of feeling like I'm going to be seen as like she's doing too much in high school setting. Like, no, in college, you're just being yourself. And not everyone had that college experience, but I definitely did, getting to go to an arts college. So I was super grateful for that. But yeah, when we were talking off camera about like getting to go into exploring our identities and have individualism, for me it was when I went to college. And I guess coincidentally, because I went into college right as COVID started, so many people were trying different things. So it definitely made that easier for me, personally.
So this kind of goes into like my first connection, my first question for you, which was, what is your connection with clothing? And I think you were mentioning that college was a big factor of it. You exploring so many different options. In that, like, when you were looking like through those books of like that you had and all that, what was something that like you like found like, hey, I really want to go this route? Like, what was something that like, hey, like something that really stood out to you? Just be like, hey, this is the first thing I want to try, or this is like the out of the major out of a lot of the major changes that you had in your appearance. Like, what was something that um, like like this is the first thing, or like this is like a path that I really want to explore?
I really wanted to wear heels. I really wanted to wear heels to class. In high school, you don't wear. In high school, you don't really see. Okay, here's the thing. I love heels. I love heels. I love the look of a good heel on any person, any body type, any gender. I think
I love the sound of the heel.
I love the sound of a heel. I love the construction of a well-made heeled shoe or boot or any of it, or just heel in general.
For me, just a side tangent, like for me, the sound of a heel, it sounds very powerful.
It is very powerful. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I always like wear heels to all of my interviews.
You command the room.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love a good heel. High five for heels. No, that's the thing I always wanted to try, because in high school, I felt like I had to only dress up on special occasions. Otherwise, I would be either like the girl who wears heels in the lunchroom, and it's like in high school, it doesn't feel so powerful. It feels it feels uncomfortable because eyes are looking at you, and you're at that age where you have so many insecurities. But I knew that I loved the look of heels, and I loved the idea of dressing up, but I didn't like the idea that I had to wait for an occasion to dress up wearing fun clothes. But once I went to college, I was like, I can just wear heels to class. I could just buy those heel boots that I've always wanted to buy and I've always wanted to wear, and I could wear them with a good freaking pair of jeans and a cute ass top and a good jacket and a bag. Oh my God. And I can go to class. I'm going to fashion school, bitches. Like, I was so pumped up. Oh my God. And I honestly just realized that that's what it's like being kind of an adult. Like, I have free will. Like, I can wear anything I want.
Yeah.
But in high school, it's such a bubble. You don't get to feel like you really have that much freedom of expression until you're out of it. So honestly, heels was a big one.
That is a great answer, to be honest. That was like...
They're so fun. Oh, they're so powerful.
And I can already envision it. Like already hearing like the sound of a heel, like, oh, you're like walking into the classroom, but I'm already hearing like I'm having a conversation with like a classmate, but I already hear like the sound of the heel, like slowly getting bigger and bigger and bigger until it's like, oh, you're walking across the classroom.
It commands attention.
It really does.
It really does. And in high school,
in a place, I'm assuming like for college, in like your classroom where like nobody is wearing heels.
In college?
Yeah.
Oh, a number of people are. Well,
in your class?
For my fashion classes.
Okay.
I wasn't the only one. I wasn't the only one either, which was actually kind of fun because then I got to see other people in the room. I got to see other people in the room, boys, girls, any gender, just being like wearing really cool pieces in general, whether it be shoes or not shoes. And it just starting up a conversation of being like, oh my gosh, like I heard you come in when I heard like your heels. I wanted to ask you where your heels were. Or I remember this one girl when she came in, she was like head to toe dripped in all these beautiful silver dangly jewelry and earrings and
So did you get inspired?
I asked her about it.
Yeah, did you get inspired because you saw other people in your class?
Oh, for sure.
And then you're like, oh, I'm gonna do this too.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. It was like kind of getting, I don't want to be that person that like lives so much in their college years, but it really was such a transcending time for me.
But it's also like it was very recently too.
And it was very recently too. Like I did only graduate in May of 2024, so I do miss those times. But I mean, it was just such a transcending experience getting to be around people who have so many different forms of their individualism that they're finally getting to express. Or maybe some of them did express it for a long time, but now they get to be amongst other people who are also doing it in a similar way with clothes. And
isn't that so cool that you can that you can inspire somebody just and you don't even know it?
You don't even know it. No, literally. I took so much inspiration from so many people in my fashion classes. And I think I mentioned in another episode, like I remember saying this like one of the first couple weeks of after getting to go to in-person classes. I literally came home and I was telling my parents, I was like, fashion classes are so cool because you will see a girl like head to toe in like pastel pink fairy core, like everything she wears is like Labubu core, even though Labubu wasn't a thing in 2021. But like she's so feminine and she loves it and that's her style. And then right next to her will be someone who's like head to toe in goth and like has like spider earrings and like spider makeup, and like all of it is considered fashion. Like all of it is considered fashion. And in that space, no one is considered like the weird person out or like the person that sticks out like a sore thumb. Like, because everyone is just getting to express themselves.
Right.
And it's all considered fashion because there is no one way to dress.
Right.
But when you're in a place like high school or when you're younger, you are kind of put in that box of not either getting to explore or not being exposed to lots of different aesthetics or other things to try, or in general you just haven't found yourself yet. So everyone's put in that box. But it's like in college, I really got to see so many forms of individualism. It was so inspiring. I wish everyone had that experience in college. I mean, I loved it. I loved it. And I definitely took inspiration. Oh my God. Some of the people that I looked up to the most style-wise were not even designers or were not influencers or celebrities. Not at all. It was like my own classmates. Just getting to come in So many of it was also with things that they just thrifted.
Yeah.
Or honestly, that's a big part of it. Thrifting.
That was gonna be my next question. Like, who are some like either industry leaders or who are your inspiration as far as people that gave you that inspiration of either your style that today or maybe a style that you can't pull off but like you like their style?
Okay, if I did have to put my finger on a specific person that I do take inspiration from, it would have to be La Roche, which is Zendaya's stylist.
Okay.
And he for his own personal style, I feel like he himself does not get enough attention because he styles an absolutely incredible celebrity. I love Zendaya. I've had a crush on her forever. But also I love the looks that he puts her in because he dresses her on theme to a T.
Yeah.
Like every movie premiere, every like Met Gala, it is on theme to a T. And I think not every celebrity has to dress on theme, or not every celebrity has to really have a specific look. I mean, it is nice to just kind of get to dress up in a nice, beautiful designer gown without a theme too. Like that's still nice too, but I appreciate the ones who like have a certain vision and want to play with a story.
Yeah.
Because it's like all the designers out there who design haute couture, who design costumey fashion, like that doesn't get to be worn as much.
Right.
Like you see it on the runway, but it's like there's so many opportunities that these other celebs are getting to wear this fashion, and Zendaya gets to be in it, like head to toe, wearing like absolutely incredible Mugler, like silver. When she did, okay.
I was about to say, like, what's the top one that you saw from Zendaya?
Oh my gosh, the Mugler look. Oh my god,
I'll insert it right here.
I super hope it's Mugler. I think it was Mugler. Her look that she did for the Dune premiere, she was in this head to toe like silver armor, like look. It was so incredibly on theme. I hadn't seen the movie yet at that point when they had the premiere, but when I did see the movie, it was just so incredibly powerful, which reminded me of her role in the film, and I loved it. Oh my gosh, like getting to play with costuming, like that's honestly part of what I love about fashion is because the biggest thing I knew about fashion that gave me a boost into my career is I just knew that I wanted to dress up for the rest of my life. Like I knew I wanted to play dress up for the rest of my life.
Right.
I love that. Like I didn't know how to say that to some people when I was growing up because they'd be like, what do you like to do for fun? And I would say like, oh, I like to swim, or oh, I like to hang out with my friends, and I like to watch movies. But like
that wasn't enough.
But the thing that I loved to do the most was just get to hang out in my room, make a mess of my closet, and try on everything with everything, and just getting to experiment and just look in the mirror and be like, oh, what about that with that? Or like, oh my god, I'm taking inspiration from like this one Disney princess, or oh, this one actress in that TV show forever ago that I always remembered her outfit. Like things like that. I just love getting to play dress up, and I love getting to see the celebrities that also get to play dress up, because I feel like dressing nice and then dressing different can be two different things.
So here's a question: Do you think, or have you ever thought about this? Where let's just say, like, the easiest way for me to say this: you're white.
I am.
But
I am. You got that right.
But like,
I am.
So let's just say, like you have like this all this styles that you can work with, like your skin type. But like, let's just say for a darker skin type, do you ever think of like, hey, I have a really cool outfit choice for your skin type? Like, will you let me just like do this for you? Or like, have you ever thought about that? Like, just be like, ooh, you have a great, like, just say figure for this style of outfit, or anything like that. Like, have you ever like had those ideas, or just be like, for like you know a lot of like model friends. So do you ever like have that conversation with them? Like, hey, have you ever tried this or something like that?
I don't think I've ever had the opportunity to kind of give that advice in a. Well, actually, no, I have. I guess I've given that advice as like complimenting, but not ever in a like strategic, like, let me help dress you, or I want to dress you, or let's do something where like I put you in these colors because you would look great in these colors. I would actually love to do that.
Yeah, I was about to
that
say,
would
like,
actually really cool to do. That would actually be really cool to do.
because I feel like you have enough like playful ideas that you do for yourself. I don't see why not you can do that for other people.
That honestly would be pretty fun. I guess that is part of the role of a stylist. And I am still, honestly, I wear so many hats within my interest of fashion, but I don't have a hat of being a professional stylist.
That actually makes sense, because like that kind of goes into the topic of how, like, I talked about before. For me, like, for me, I don't have, like, I'm not a niche photographer. I'm like, for me as a photographer, I don't only shoot weddings. I shoot fashion. A whole variety of things that I can do.
Yeah.
And now it makes more sense for you that, like, oh, you have a whole variety of things that I could possibly
do more
of in fashion.
In fashion.
Now it makes a little bit more sense on like how, like, for me now I kind of see it like, oh, now I understand, like, almost like how I said to you before, like, now I'm an amateur in fashion. I'm like, oh, okay, I see so many possibilities, and like you're the expert on it. So now, like, you could see it. Well, we're learning. We're learning
together.
We're learning. But like, I see you be like, oh, okay, these are all the avenues I could go on, and let's tackle all of them.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's the problem with me in fashion, is because I want to do all of it. Oh my God. I want to tackle all of it. I would love to be. It's like, and then there's that realization of like, wow, being human is wonderful and incredible, but it's like, I only have so much time, and I only have so much capabilities, and I need rest time, and I need a social life, and I need to make money, and all these things, and it's like, I wish I could do all of it. So I'm slowly but surely trying to find avenues of exploring multiple different facets of fashion that I do like, whether it be fashion journalism and editing, or styling, or designing pieces of my own, because I actually do alter a good number of my own clothes that I don't actually tell a lot of people about, because I don't know, someone in my life recently told me that they think of me as a designer, and because they're like, you design your looks very particularly, and you take things from like thrift shops and like family friends and like things you find on the street, which is true. I have worn accessories that I find on the ground, and I will like tinker with it, like broken jewelry. I love broken jewelry. I think that's a really cool opportunity to like make a mix match necklace or belt or like bag chain.
You're gonna have to show me some of these.
I will.
I don't think I have seen any of these.
I honestly don't talk about it as much, because I guess when I think of designer, I think of like the design students in my classes who know how to do specific pattern making, which is like major respect. That's hard to do, where they have classes of like formal pattern making, and they want to have their own collections. And I don't want to have my own collection, I don't think. I'm just so much more interested in like business mindset instead of like creating mindset. But I do like making things for myself. Like I enjoy that. I alter a lot of my own clothes. I love to get to put together little trinkets. Oh my God, I'm such a trinket fiend. I love that. But I don't really talk about it as much. But
now you do, and this is
now I am, I guess. Now I am. Now I am. But where are we going into that? Also, I don't know if we told you, we got coffee before this.
I already finished mine.
I know. I'm still drinking mine. I think the caffeine's hitting at this point. Or is the talk about fashion? I'm just so excited either way.
I think it's both.
I think it's both.
I think it's definitely both. My next question for you is basically just, how do you see the future of fashion being involved in your personal life, or your personal involvement in the career that you're choosing? And how do you feel fashion is growing as a whole, and on where it's going?
Okay, with when it comes to my personal role in the future of fashion, there's so many different avenues that I'd love to be part of. As I said, I'd love to get to do all of it. But the biggest thing that I do care about is sustainability within the fashion industry. And that is something that is growing. It is growing. not as fast as I wish, but more than ever, it is more prevalent now than ever before. But it's at the same time, it's still such a small thing. Like, I would love to get to do either a grad program or a specific project where I get to work on sustainability within fashion, making a huge difference.
Okay, I'm gonna interject a little bit just because I'm
Yeah.
like, what does a sustainability mean for you? Because like
Yeah.
for me, I'm like, okay, for somebody that doesn't even know that much about sustainability, I'm just like, oh, is it because like I don't know. For me, I think of it as like how much water is being used on a certain thing,
Yeah, absolutely.
or is it just like reused of certain fabrics, or like I don't know as much where it can be like, well, like what does it mean for sustainability for clothing in that aspect?
Right. No, you were on the right track. Honestly, both of those have to do with sustainability. When I think of sustainability, and I think what a lot of these sustainability initiatives that are being put in place are trying to do is um, trying to lessen the impact that it has on the planet that is damaging our planet. So when it comes to like water, that's a
Yeah.
big thing. There are so many different things within fashion, clothing wise. Actually, cotton specifically. Cotton takes so much water to grow of a cotton plant just to make one t-shirt. That is so much water. That is so much resources that we are putting into making just one t-shirt. And then how cheap is it to make that one t-shirt, and how easy is it for that cheap t-shirt to fall apart and then break and then you throw it in the garbage.
Yeah.
And
And is it even worth having a cheap one, or is it more worth it to just bring up the standards of a t-shirt so it could be a higher quality?
that is the thing that I that's honestly such a hard topic, because I would love to say with my whole heart that like we should just be buying more sustainable, better grade, better quality products, but that would be more expensive.
Yeah.
And not everyone can afford that, is the truth.
Right.
It is, with the way the world works, is that some people can only afford like a pack of like $5 t-shirts, and that's they need something to wear. So it makes sense why we still have those clothes. I wish I could say wholeheartedly that everyone should buy sustainable, but it's not as simple as that. But I mean, as in terms of resources, reusing is better, recycling is better,
So when you
and
mean
saving water is another good thing too.
so when you mean buying sustainable clothes, like what does that mean for you? Like for me, I'm kind of thinking about like, oh, sustainable is like, oh, a shirt that lasts like, let's just say 3 years. Do you think that that's sustainable, or
Only
like?
3 years.
Well, I'm just throwing
No,
throwing
yeah,
in a number
yeah,
out there.
For when I think of clothes that are sustainable, um, that's a good question. There are, I guess I don't think of specific clothes that are sustainable. When I think of fashion becoming sustainable, I guess I think about the process in which it's created and its sourcing, and how from the very beginning, from the seedlings of it, how we can make that be better as an environmental impact. That is what I normally think of when I think of I want fashion to be sustainable. I want to think about how we make clothes for everyone be more sustainable. When I think of clothes that are sustainable, I like buying from brands who, when I can do this, I like buying from brands who either have regenerative cotton, which is another type of cotton that's more sustainable than like the cotton that takes so much water to produce one t-shirt, or they use recycled materials, recycled polyester, recycled cotton, or they have a trade-in program. Some companies actually have a thing where, just like with phones, it's not as common as I wish it was, but it's getting there, where you can like be like, hey, bring in your old clothes from our company, and then we'll recycle it, or we'll sell it at a lower price. That way you're not throwing out those clothes, and then you can get a discount for buying new clothes. And that's another way to do it. Instead of encouraging people to just buy new, it's also giving them the mindset of like,
Do you know any companies that do that, like off the bat, or no?
I think there are a number of companies that I just don't personally buy from, but I'm pretty sure Patagonia does do that. Patagonia cares a lot about the environment, but I don't own anything from Patagonia. I would love to though, because I only got into hiking recently and I'd love that. But I think Lululemon also does. H&M is starting to do a program like that. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if they're doing it in the U.S., but I know specifically it's becoming a little bit more of a thing.
Okay.
And I think it's good because I think if we only push the idea of consume, 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 and then don't talk at all about what happens with all the things that you're consuming, like it's just gonna increase waste.
Yeah.
And there's so much waste. Did you know that fashion, I don't know if this is still the fact, but I learned this fact like early in college, so it was like early 2020. Fashion is the second biggest polluter in the entire world underneath the oil industry. Underneath the oil industry. And also the fashion industry creates so much oil, which adds to the oil industry as a big polluter. But literally fashion is the second biggest polluter in the whole world. Because with how much water we use, because of how much waste of clothes just gets sent to other countries just to be put into a pile, and then a lot of those clothes take forever to decompose.
Right.
Like plastics and polyester specifically. Polyester takes something like 200 years to decompose.
Right.
Or it's either polyester or it's nylon. So all the Prada little bags that are super cute, they take 200 years to decompose. And when someone if someone like breaks it or if someone gets a stain on it, they throw it in the garbage and it gets sent to another country just to have it sit there for 200 years. And it's a problem. It's a really, really big problem. And also with dyes, it pollutes the ocean. It pollutes drinking water in other countries where they only have a limited supply of water. Like, I can go on and on about this. I care very deeply about this.
Okay.
And I'm excited to see the trends continue to grow a little bit more in the trend of trying to care more about the environment.
Right.
But it's still so small.
Yeah.
It's still so small. Like the way Shein, oh my god, that word gives me the biggest ick in the world. The way Shein makes so much money, and they're all about like cheap fashion that you can also throw away easily because it's okay, you can buy another one for $3. Like, I understand why that company exists, and I do understand why some people who don't have a lot of money but want to have, fashionable clothes and want to experiment with fashion would go towards that company. Like, I understand that. Not everyone has the money to buy like a $40 t-shirt that'll last them the rest of their life compared to a $5 t-shirt. Like, I understand why that's there, but it's like, it does make me scared because the more companies like that thrive, it's harder to put sustainability initiatives and practices into the minds of consumers, especially Americans. Americans are buying things so often. Oh my gosh.
We care about speed.
We do care about speed, and that's just kind of the way it is right now.
Yeah.
So sustainability.
I kind of want to get through some of these questions that I've been wanting to ask because
sorry. We do have time limit.
We do have a time limit.
What time is it?
We have a lot of time.
Okay, we're doing good.
Yeah. We have in our time we have about an hour.
Okay. Before needing to be at this location?
Yes.
Okay. And it takes 15 minutes to get to the location.
That's not bad.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
We're doing good.
We're doing good.
Cheers.
Okay. So this question is a little bit I've been wanting to actually like ask you some of these questions because I feel like getting to know you and is brought up these questions, but also
shoot.
For me, I just want to ask these dumb questions too.
They're not dumb.
This question in particular, I know might be dumb, but I also don't know. So, are there ways to sew things that are better in strength and or style? So like, there's like when you sew something, like I know there's different patterns for it, but are those patterns better for like styling or strength or like anything like that? Because I don't know what are the difference between like one pattern versus another.
Pattern as in like
when you're sewing two things together. Like
this kind of a pattern. Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, like let's just say like the pattern like right here. You know, like I sew this together, you know?
The seam of your jeans.
Yeah, the seams. Like, does that either matter or does that not matter? Do you not think about it or anything like that?
let's see, there is a technical answer I could give when it comes to sewing.
And that's basically what I want, like the technical aspect.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to, I can give a technical answer, but I'm trying to think of how to explain it to where I can explain it without visuals.
Yeah.
For me, what I have learned about sewing clothes, and then also not just for those who are interested in sewing clothes, but those who like wear clothes.
Yeah.
You can tell sometimes when clothes are not well made for the body, or they're more cheaper, they're made less expensively, is when the stretch is not the way the body should be. So
Really?
yeah, oh my god. So the thing is, a lot of stretch fabrics that we commonly wear, there's I'm trying to describe this without visuals. Yeah. There's a weave and there's a weft.
Okay.
A weave and a weft. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. I did learn this in my fashion classes. I just don't use the terms when I sew. But you can stretch a fabric a certain way. Like if you have a square piece of stretchy fabric, you can stretch it a certain way. If you hold the bottom and the top, you can stretch it a certain amount. On the sides, you can stretch it a certain amount. But if you grab the two corners, you can stretch it a lot more. I don't know if you can visualize that.
Yeah, I can.
And there is something that I still would love to get to learn more professionally and formally is how to use that specific stretch to like the certain parts of the bodies that need more stretch than others. But you can definitely tell when clothes are more cheaply made if some things do not stretch comfortably over your body and it says it's supposed to be your size, because they just did not produce it in the way where they made the stretchy part of the fabric be where it should be in that pattern. And I think, and maybe this is hard to describe, but basically it's not as simple as you just put a bunch of fabric out, you cut it all out, you sew it all out. You have to actually place it in a certain direction. You have to tuck it in a certain way with, you know, how stretchy fabric is. Like there is so much that goes into it. Oh my god, yeah.
No, I did not know this.
People who are like construct fashion, they know what's up. Like they know what's up. It's quite a technical thing. Like it's quite a technical thing. It's not as simple as and that's the thing why also some clothes.
So I can't just like place a fabric like all there, and like it has to be like rotated to like a certain place so it can be like the
correct part of stretch. For a lot of fabrics, I'm pretty sure. I'm trying to think of non-stretch fabrics, but I don't normally sew with non-stretch fabrics. I normally sew with like cotton or a cotton spandex.
Okay.
But that is something I honestly don't know technically too much about, where I can tell you exactly which ones are, which is what I'm interested in learning about. Honestly, that like fascinates me so much. But yeah, it's not as simple as just like you put a bunch of fabric down, you cut it all out. It's for a good portion of it, you have to be intentional with like where you put the fabric, where you cut the fabric, where you stretch the fabric. Like it's and that's why you can also tell with like some cheaper clothes if like things have weird gaps or things are like rippling at the seams, and it's like I'm just wearing this shirt and it's not sewn properly, or it's not set up properly. But the thing is not many fashion companies will put in the intention to like
they just tell them to just do it and that's it.
Yeah, or like honestly cutting things like on the bias, that's what it's called. The bias is like that diagonal of stretch that does waste more fabric. Instead of using the whole square, you have to like rotate it to use that diagonal stretch. It has more leftover fabric cutting on that angle, and a lot of fast fashion companies don't want to waste that, but it fits way better on your body. So it's trade-offs, unfortunately. It's trade-offs, because while some companies do really good tailoring, that might mean that when you tailor a lot more things to be specifically for your body, instead of like using all the fabric, even if it doesn't fit as well, there are trade-offs for like how much extras you have versus like the quality of a fit. And it's a whole complicated thing.
Yeah.
It's a whole complicated thing, which I'm actually interested in learning more about it myself. That's why I'd love to do a grad program, like learning more about the production side of fashion and how it can improve. But when it comes to actual patterns, I will say an easy thing though, when it comes to these patterns, it's easy to tell when something is cheaply made when the stripes don't line up.
Really?
Yeah, so if you have like a striped shirt, and it's like diagonal or even vertical, and like the side seam, if you see the stripes are like off. Yeah, it's not as well made as other shirts. Definitely will make it lined up because it looks so much nicer, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell the quality of a garment with that.
But do you think it's because they're being lazy about it, like they just put it together and it's like offline, or does it actually require more thought to like it to be lined up?
My guess is because when I have I don't normally buy a lot of fabric to make new things. I normally buy pieces from the thrift store. I take apart it. I use that fabric to make something new or alter it. So I do have only a certain amount of things, a certain amount of resources that I can find. But when it comes to like a factory and they have all this, production line, assembly line, I don't know for sure why sometimes it is misaligned. I don't know if maybe it's because like the machines are just a little bit cutting each piece off a little bit, so it's like when you line it up,
that's also another thing. Like I'm always thinking about like, oh, there's people actually making this.
There
like,
are,
but like I didn't even consider the fact that like
some of it is automated.
Yeah, most of it is probably automated.
Well, there is a lot within fast fashion that is automated, but when it comes to the actual sewing thing, it is truly like underpaid people literally having to sew all of it, and they get paid based on how many garments they sew within the hour that they have to meet a quota for. So they're not necessarily always thinking about making sure everything is perfectly lined up, because that's not their highest priority, which makes sense.
Which is going back to the fact of just like we need
to take care of how we start the production of fashion from the very beginning, from the very bottom. And it's a hard thing to do, but I mean, that's what I'd love to support doing. Honestly, I'd love to get to learn more about sustainability and ethics, just like that. Just like the ethics of how we make clothes. Like that's something that I do see the trends going towards a tiny bit more in that direction. Sustainability more than ethics, but I'm excited to be part of it.
We already
sustainability.
Sustainability. We love that.
We do.
Ooh,
my feet are falling asleep. But it's okay because I wanted to be somewhat closer to your height.
Oh, you're good. You're good. I have multiple questions, but I feel like we only have time for
one of my feet fell asleep. Okay, sorry.
Okay, I definitely want to ask you this question. Will AI take any creativity away from you, or is it gonna like for me as a photographer, I use AI for as a tool. I don't use it to replace any of my work. I use it to like just help help me like remove like certain things in the image, or just like certain aspects of that. But I don't like use AI for it to like replace the whole entire image, because then at that point it's not even my picture anymore.
No, absolutely.
But I see it as a tool. I see AI as a tool. Like for you, as you are embarking this fashion and this new era of AI, like, do you see it being a problem for you? Do you see it more as a tool? Do you see it as what are your thoughts on it?
My thoughts on it?
Yeah.
That is honestly such an important thing, I will say. Just even the conversation of AI, because I think it depends. I think a big part will depend on the regulations put in place, because right now people can use it. Right now, people can use it to completely copy or completely cheat or completely falsify their own work. But also some people can use it to help them enhance their work, help them learn about something that they would otherwise spend a lot more money in official classes or official, programs getting to learn, but they can have it taught to them to enhance their work, whether it be any industry or fashion. So I think
so like for me, I don't think my job will ever be replaced by AI, because there's a lot of human elements to photography that you really can't replace. Do you think, as like, let's just say a designer or a stylist, would that affect them as,
Yeah,
yeah?
for sure. It'll for sure affect them. There's unfortunately there's no going back to a time when we didn't have AI. I think I don't know. If I had more of a science fiction brain, which maybe isn't so fiction and maybe more science, I would think that we will at some point use AI so much that eventually we will hate using AI and it'll take away such a human aspect that we will also go back and revert away from AI because trends ebb and flow. Honestly, that's the way a lot of it works. But either way, for the time being and for the foreseeable future, it will definitely affect designers and lots of people in the creative industries because there now that people have this tool. So I'm like you where, and first of all, I cannot be remiss to say I would be remiss to not mention AI is also not good for the planet.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that also is something that tugs at my heartstrings too, is because it actually does create an environmental impact with every query you enter. Whatever prompt you put in using AI does affect the environment. So that I'm unfortunately afraid of with that impact, with how much water that uses. Um, but there are going to always be people that aren't like you or me who want to have an individualistic sense of work and wants to have the accomplishment of us creating that work, but they want to use AI to make it appear so.
Right.
And unfortunately, there will always be that kind of person. But in terms of regulations, because AI is so unregulated at this point, where they're still trying to figure out how to make this have regulations and laws in place for like copyright and fashion law. Fashion law is also so interesting. The idea of
Right.
copying someone's design, but then how do you have a machine copy someone's design when you don't even know where the credit is from? Like that is a whole interesting thing that like
Right.
jumbles my mind. That I'm very curious about how the future will be for that. But it definitely is going to affect the process, I think, in which creators, especially with fashion, create fashion, because as easily as it could take me like a week or two to maybe design a garment and then buy the materials and create it and sew it, and even if I had like 4 years of fashion production underneath my belt instead of fashion business, like there's someone who could have that sketch up and drawing it like within like 30 seconds, and it would
Yeah.
take me so much longer, and I would do all these different tests, and AI does make things faster. So I
Yeah.
definitely see that being a huge competing factor for the people who take the time to have the interpersonableness between clients, or who take the time to like perfect their craft and want to do everything more tangibly than digitally. And I do worry. I definitely do worry. I think I worry though only because I know what it's been like so far. I'm sure future generations who grow up with AI might not have that same perspective
I,
of
I
what I have.
I feel like more than ever that's an interesting take from you, because for me, I think as people more get into AI and rely on it more creatives are going to shine because of it, because we need that human element, or we need that human expression that AI cannot deliver.
And I see that.
Yeah.
I would like to believe that that would be the case. I just am also seeing so many AI platforms that can now do creative fields, like
Yeah.
create images, create patterns for you, create mood boards, create designs. And I would have maybe like 2 years ago, I would have said like, oh, us creatives are totally fine. That's not gonna take anything from us. Like it's just
I,
gonna focus on business things. But no, now that I see that it actually has capabilities to do that, minus the interpersonableness, the fact, and with the way the world cares so much about efficiency and making money, I do worry that so many more companies are gonna care about that more than the interpersonableness that takes more money, that takes more time.
I think the well, this is just a back and forth.
Oh yeah, keep
Uh,
going.
so for me, I see it almost like a camera aspect of it, and this is because this is the only thing I can go off of. As cameras got more effective with like their autofocus and stuff like that, and it became more sharp, and we didn't have to worry about like things being in focus and stuff like that. How the faster they get that focus, or you get that perfect picture, the more you can focus on different things, whether that be composition, lighting aspects, other things that are important for photography. And for me, I definitely and this kind of goes into the fact of like, if you don't have to worry about one important aspect of like photography, which is for me a focus point at an important place to like make that decision of take that photo, and I can worry about composition, or I can worry about lighting, or I can worry about like placement, or whatever that may be. The more creative options I can, or creative bandwidth I can do for this picture.
Right.
So I don't know, like maybe it's just like a devil's advocate of just like, as they take one load off of like a designer or a stylist, maybe they can focus on other things to push the boundaries of like fashion, to think of something even better, or think of something they never even knew that they can actually focus more on.
So I see that.
Maybe I'm just being maybe I'm just being optimistic about it, of just like where it could be pushed. But I do hear what you're saying.
No, and I hear that too. While it's so uncertain, have you seen those ads? I'm so sorry to interject. Have you seen those ads, like billboards of like this AI necklace called Friend? It's literally an AI, like handheld AI device that you wear around your neck that this company is like advertising, and it's literally, the company's called Friend, and you can like press this button and then you have an AI person to help you with anything you need. And the fact that it's called Friend, I'm sorry, I can't remember where I was going with this, but I'm just saying, like, I have, oh my god, it's so new, I have no idea. I have no idea truly how this can go. All I know is the unsettling feelings of how everything is so uncertain. I would love for it to be that way, though. I would love for it to take away some of the monotony out of some creative fields, so that the creatives can be extra creative and take that extra creative liberty and take all those chances, since they have a tool to help, or people going to AI for some things, but then wanting the interpersonableness even more for other people for other things. Like, I would love to see it as that way. I would love for it to be that way, and for it to be just a tool that can help, instead of actually like taking major parts out of our jobs. But I have no idea. Oh my god, I have no idea. That's like so scary. That's like so scary. Oh my god. Not to be fearful.
I have one more question before we really have to wrap it up.
Wrap it up. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
My coffee was good. It was a gingerbread latte. I never part my hair on this side. Does it look unusual, or maybe it just looks unusual to me?
I think it just looks unusual to you.
Okay, keep going.
Okay, so my last question to you is, well, I have other questions, but we'll get to them
We can do another part.
Another part.
I definitely know that all my photography questions won't end up being in only one episode for you. I have so many.
But I didn't even, like, I asked you like 3, maybe 4 questions that I actually wanted to do out of like the 8 or 10.
I know, true. Well, we'll have another part.
But that's fine. That's fine. This is the point of like the podcast. We need to just go with the flow and just like, hey, I have these questions ready to go.
Trying new things. Season 1, trying new things.
Okay, and this is for you as let me just say the question. Do you watch the Met Gala or any other fashion shows? You look for any of the designers you want to see? If so, how do you find them or know them before the show? And my like sub question to that, like, do you find designers, stylists, or fashionistas like through Instagram or anything like that? And how do you keep up with them?
Okay, that was a multi-part question.
Yeah,
I
can
try to answer my best way I can, but it is often also related to each other. I first started watching the Met Gala in high school when I first started to pay attention to a lot of the, like, my favorite movie actresses and, like, music celebrity, like, music artists. And
Right.
I'd be hearing about the fact that, oh my God, they're going to be in attendance. Like, I wonder what this person's going to wear. Or, then I started paying attention to that. I don't think I've only ever streamed the Met Gala, like, fully twice.
Right.
Because otherwise you do sit through a long thing. And
It doesn't even have to be the Met Gala too. Like any other fashion shows. Like I don't know if you
oh,
watch
fashion
like
shows, yeah.
like you like do you know the designers beforehand or like let's just say like any Milan or
Yeah.
Paris Fashion Week or I don't know if you watch like the Victoria's Secret ones or like it's more of just like do you know the designers beforehand or any of the people beforehand and like do you like take inspiration from it or are you excited to see this person because
Yeah.
they haven't designed after a very long time
Right.
or they like they're such a trendsetter that like that was something that I don't know that you're excited to see like what they came up with.
Yeah. Honestly, when it comes to seeing shows or like fashion appearances now, um, within like televised fashion experiences, the things I'm most excited about are the designers that I actually don't know that much about. Actually, not the ones where I know so much about it. I mean, unless with like, oh my God, there's been actually such big transfers within like head creative directors at major fashion brands now. Like right now, like so many
Right.
different transfers and changes from different designers to different companies. So that is actually something that I've been more paying attention to because I want to see how their vision will translate with a new like brand. But I'm honestly mostly excited about the designers that I don't know that much about. Like,
Right.
I remember the first time Rihanna's Savage X Fenty lingerie brand had its first fashion show. I was so thrilled. Oh my God, I was so thrilled because I actually never watched Victoria's Secret fashion shows in the past.
Right.
But I mean, Rihanna changed the game with her brand with Savage X Fenty, and the fact that she was going to have a televised fashion show was like huge. And she used male models wearing underwear in the fashion show. She used plus size models. She used curvy models. She used like petite models, like really petite girlies, and I was like, this is so cool. This was never happened at all before in Victoria's Secret fashion shows,
Right.
which were before the only really televised lingerie fashion events ever before. So
Right.
you always had the same kind of look. I mean, it wasn't always the same kind of look. They had a lot of really cool costumey pieces, I will say, but it didn't have the diversity.
Right.
And something I'm super interested in is like, you know, seeing how the future of fashion trends are going more towards sustainability and also inclusivity.
Right.
Fingers are crossing. I mean, it is going that way, but it is going that way. I just wish it was going faster in
Right.
terms of like diversity, because obviously I care a lot about like petite models and such.
Right.
But I'm the names I'm mostly excited for are the ones that I don't know that much about because they're
Right.
obviously making headlines for a reason.
Right.
And that is what's so fascinating to me. Like, I did watch, I can't remember if it was, oh my God, time feels like such a blur. I did watch London Fashion Week 2020, I can't remember which one. One of the London Fashion Weeks, because I've been watching a lot more with London recently. They have been taking actually a lot more sustainability initiatives within their own designers. Like, they have been saying that, like, we need to actually start catering towards this. Paris Fashion Week doesn't do that. New York Fashion Week doesn't do that. Like, Milan Fashion Week doesn't do that. But London is starting to actually incorporate within the high levels of, like, London Fashion Week. We need to have a sustainability aspect to this, which I think is so cool. None of the other ones do that, or at least they didn't when I started to watch London Fashion Week. So I started to pay a lot more attention to the designers that were designing for that instead of New York Fashion Week or Paris Fashion Week, because it was like, I want to see what they're going to do.
Right.
This is new. This is new. This is never done before. Like, I want to see this. They're catering towards the future. They're catering towards things that I think are important, you know, like
Right.
caring about the environment. When it comes to celebrities, though, I do get excited by La Roche's designs for Zendaya. Anytime there's a big premiere or anytime she attends a show, I do get excited to see like what is she gonna wear, because she also wears things that are catered to the show or to the event, not just a nice gown. And I love that. I love dressing on theme. I love, and this is such a Gen Z answer, but I don't care. I love Emma Chamberlain's looks. I love her stylist, Jared Elner. He's a definitely rising Gen Z stylist who really also cares about dressing on theme and taking fashion risks. Dressing interesting versus just pretty or nice, that is thrilling to me. I love that. That's that's what if I had all the money in the world, I would look different every single day. I would look different every single day. But also I believe in like a certain amount of sustainable pieces because I want to rewear clothes. Because I realistically know that I can't buy everything just knowing that I'll wear it once. I'm not really that kind of person. I like to wear a lot of clothes over and over again. But that's where good styling comes in, because you can style pieces that you own in lots of different ways. And I have no idea how long we've been recording for. 1 hour and 28 minutes.
Yeah.
Damn. I could go on for another 5 hours and 28 minutes, but
no, I think that's hour 11. I think.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I don't have my glasses on. They're back there. But,
Closing thing?
Closing thing. Dang, we didn't do... Wait. Actually, can we do that for another episode? I'm so sorry. As I want to take more time for it. I want to take more time for it, and we've already gone over.
So this is a surprise for the next episode.
This is a surprise for the next episode. And can we start the next episode with it?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. We don't know what the order is going to be for this, but...
Maybe we did it already?
Maybe we did it already.
Or maybe we did it. You would know by then.
You would know.
You would know.
I'm excited, though.
This is very exciting.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you so much for tuning in, guys, to the Ride of Our Lives Radio.
Ride of Our Lives Radio. Thank you for being here.
I think this was a very good episode. I loved it.
I had fun. I had so much fun.
I think
oh my God.
I think I asked a lot of questions that
I liked your questions.
Finally, like, wanting to ask.
Yeah, and things that I don't normally get to talk about a lot without. I get to talk about this kind of stuff with my fashion friends, so it's like kind of cool getting to talk about it with someone who isn't as fashion based.
But I'm also interested in it.
No, you are. You actually are.
I'm very interested. I want to expand my knowledge in this.
Right.
And this is something like clearly I'm going to be in for a very long time. So this is like I need to know this information too.
Yeah.
So
it will definitely help with fashion photography. Absolutely.
Of course. And that's why I was just like I was very excited to ask you these questions, because it's more of just like I want to tap in like how you think, like how you see the world and all of that.
Yeah.
And obviously this is a passion that you are very much involved in, that it was just like, okay, I kind of want to see like, oh, okay, this is your element.
Yeah.
You know?
That's true. I mean, I know that I'm really lucky, honestly, that I get to work in my passion. Not everyone's passion is their job, but I am lucky that my hobby and my passion also get to be part of my job. So it is cool getting to learn more about it in so many different aspects, and that I can share my knowledge or what I get like really, really focused and excited on. Yeah. So I had fun. I had so much fun. Let's do another one. I have to go home, actually.
Okay, guys. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you
we'll
so
see
much.
you at the next one.
We'll see you at the next Ride of Our Lives.
You ready?
Yeah.
3.
Oh, wait. You, I thought you were going to do a countdown.
Okay, wait. 3, 2, 1. It's fine.